Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I hope all of you are having a great day so far. How was your weekend? Tell me down in the comments. So in this video, we'll be discussing when you should expect to receive the third stimulus check from Congress. Some people, as you know, have already received a third stimulus check in their bank accounts. Now folks, I want to know what you think. Are you happy with a $1,400 stimulus check? Or do you believe that we should have gotten the $2,000 stimulus payments that we were promised? Tell me down in the comments, everybody.
Millions of Americans as part of that $1.9 trillion COVID relief plan. Elan Moy joins us right now. She's got more on where things stand. Hi, Elan.
Well, good morning, Becky. The stimulus payments started showing up in bank accounts over the weekend, and they'll continue to roll out over the next few days. In a letter to staff obtained by CNBC, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen forecast that the money, along with the rest of that $1.9 trillion COVID relief package, would end up juicing the job market. It said, "We are now charting a very different course out of this crisis compared to the one a decade ago. Rather than a long, slow recovery, I expect we could reach full employment by as soon as next year." Now, the first stimulus payments will go to those who have direct deposits set up with the IRS. Paper checks will start going out by the end of this month, and some households would also receive prepaid debit cards instead. Now, Treasury started testing that out in the first round of payments a year ago. There's been a lot of concern about some of the fees that unbanked households have to pay to access their money. An analysis by the Brookings Institution found that the costs range from about $8 to as much as $195 for a family of 5. But guys, the challenge with the prepaid cards is that some people thought it was a scam and they didn't activate it right away. So officials say that the real card is a Visa and that the envelope would prominently display the Treasury Department seal.
Let's go over if you're eligible for the third stimulus check. The third round of stimulus checks start at $1,400 per eligible person. If you have any dependent, there will be an extra $1,400 tacked on for each one of them. So for example, a married couple with 2 dependent children can get up to $5,600. However, third stimulus checks are quickly phased out for people at certain income levels. If your income is high enough, your check will be completely phased out and you will get nothing. For single people, that happens if your AGI is above $80,000. If you're married and file a joint tax return, you'll get nothing if your AGI exceeds $160,000.
Now on the American Rescue Plan. Late last week, President Biden signed the American Rescue Plan into law. The most significant federal recovery effort in decades is now underway. $1,400 checks are heading out the door to 85% of American households. Relief for schools, businesses, families, and state and local governments is starting to arrive. Shots are going into the arms of Americans from coast to coast. More than 135 million doses of the vaccine have now been delivered. Over 100 million doses have now been administered. That's 1/3 of the population and much more quickly than had been previously projected. And our economy is poised for its own shot in the arm. As the American Rescue Plan begins to take effect, economists are projecting that American economic growth could more than double as a result of this bold, strong legislation. Already, Americans are more optimistic about businesses being able to reopen, jobs coming back, and the national economy taking off. As one headline read over the weekend, Americans see better days ahead in pandemic and economy. After the American Rescue Plan passed through the Senate a little over a week ago, I've been highlighting parts of the bill that may have escaped notice, and there are so many. We all know about the $1,400 checks. We all know about the shots in the arm. But today I want to take some time explaining how it helps our nation's students. First of all, the American Rescue Plan provides substantial emergency relief to colleges and universities weighted towards those colleges and universities without million-dollar endowments. Fully half of that funding must be used for emergency financial aid grants to students, at least $20 billion nationwide. And of course, many students will benefit from the $1,400 checks. Any student with a young family will benefit from the historic expansion of the child tax credit.
If you claim the head of household filing status on your tax return, your payment will then be reduced to $0 if your AGI tops $120,000. Now for dependents, if you can be claimed as dependent on someone else's tax return, you will not receive a stimulus check. That means no payments to children living at home who are 17 or 18 years old, or to college students who are 23 years or younger at the end of the year who don't pay at least half their own expenses will now receive a stimulus check. However, if you are a dependent, at least the person claiming you as a dependent on their tax return will get an extra $1,400.
Payments and provide funding for families recovering from homelessness. And then on Friday, President Biden and Vice President Harris will travel to Georgia, as you all already know, to underscore how they and congressional Democrats fulfilled their promise in delivering $1,400 checks to finish the job of $2,000 in direct relief to millions of Americans. The second piece of, just the last piece I should say at the top, is many of you saw the news out this morning that Gene Sperling will be joining the team here to run point on the implementation of the rescue plan. I've known him for a long time, worked with him previously, but to give you a few highlights, Gene has spent more than a decade at the highest level of government, including as senior Treasury official and as the only person to serve as NEC director twice. As we've talked about a bit in here, there are a number of economic officials who will be playing roles in implementation, so he has especially an interesting and relevant background in helping pull all those levers. Gene was also played a key role in helping steer Detroit out of bankruptcy and on the path to renewal, and he quarterbacked support for small businesses and economic assistance for unemployed Americans. He will work with the heads of White House policy councils and key leaders at federal agencies so we can get funds out the door quickly, maximize its impact, accelerate the work that the administration is doing to crush COVID and rescue our economy. And as I've noted in here before, the president felt it was important to have a point person who could, of course, pull all of these.
In addition, folks, Wells Fargo and JP Morgan Chase told customers they may not receive stimulus checks until Wednesday at the earliest, sparking backlash from consumers who are hoping to see the cash at their bank accounts very soon. Now, everybody, U.S. consumers have been eager to receive their $1,400 payment after Joe Biden signed it into law. The IRS has said the official payment date is Wednesday, March 17th. Wells Fargo has noted that the U.S. Treasury has said it will distribute payments in multiple phases, meaning not everyone will receive the money at the same time. The lender warned customers that branch and call center workers will not have additional payments information about how consumers can expect to receive the stimulus checks. JP Morgan, for its part, recommended that consumers set up account alerts to tell them when the deposit posts their account. A representative for JP Morgan did not immediately respond to a request for a comment on Sunday. This has caused customers to vent on social media, with some saying that will close out their accounts with the lenders. The term direct deposit began trending on Twitter as a result, and consumers sent more than 250,000 tweets about the topic. That is all the news in today's video, everybody. Hopefully you guys found this video useful and helpful. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, give this video a like, and comment down below.